Hello everybody, this is Llodg, and before I get into the video, I wanted to say that I received a code from Mizuchi for the Nintendo Switch from Viridian Software. However, all my thoughts on this video are completely my own. If you want to get the game for yourself, it's available on PlayStation, Steam, and Nintendo Switch. Mizuchi is a Yuri romance visual novel that has you following Lynn, a woman from a poor family in a village. Most of the gameplay in this game is you reading the story, however there are times when you can make some decisions. These decisions aren't too big of a deal, sometimes it's just you deciding what line of dialogue you'd like Lynn to say, but other times they can decide which part of the story you'd like to do first, or which character you'd like to talk to for the night. But most of it is sitting and reading the story as it pans out. I'll give a brief intro into the story, but won't really go all that in depth with it, since that's why you'd want to buy this game, and I don't want to spoil you too much. The story actually starts you partway into it, where you are blindfolded and tied up in a pit of snakes. However, there is this woman's voice that starts to speak to us, telling us that she could be our savior. Then we cut back to a couple days before all that happened. Lynn is living her normal life, stealing food and running away. She even gives a leftover egg to this peculiar white serpent. However, when she sees a group of people excited about something, she learns that her childhood friend An has returned from the war and proposes to Lynn to marry her. Despite her reservations about it, she doesn't tell An that she doesn't want to get married, and kind of accepts it. All throughout the day, she's going back and forth as to whether or not she should tell An that she doesn't really want to get married to him. After getting a brand new dress, Lynn decides to go talk to An about their potential marriage. However, when she finds him, he's in the arms of another man. This part of the game feels like it moves really fast, like a lot happens in this short span of time. You see An seemingly being with another man, the man says not to say anything or your family will get hurt, then the village thinks you're the one cheating, and then you get thrown into a snake pit. Like, it all makes sense, but it's a lot to take in such a short amount of time. However, we learn that the woman's voice in the snake pit was actually that white serpent Lynn gave an egg to earlier. The serpent tells Lynn that if she wants to be saved, then she will do what the serpent wants. Even if Lynn says she'll decide her own fate, the snake still seems to bite her, and Lynn wakes up in a completely different place. As it turns out, this snake is the very same snake goddess that Lynn and her entire village pray to protect themselves. She can also shapeshift into different forms, such as a more humanoid one like this. Her name is A, and she wants Lynn to be her companion and will keep her safe. Despite what Lynn may really want, she agrees to stay with A in her house. Eventually, another person comes to their home and attacks A. Though when A has this person in her grasp, Lynn tells them both to stop. And luckily for this other person, A listens to Lynn. This is another woman named Jinhai, who decides to live with A and Lynn as a way to stay close to A. And that's the basic premise of the game, staying in this house with these two women as you get to know them more. There's mystery in discovering the characters' backgrounds and motivations that makes for an interesting visual novel. There are also 5 different endings in the game, so there's more to do than just going through the story once. I really liked all the character art. They were really well designed, and each character was really unique. The unique character art is especially nice for all of A's different forms. Though for the random smaller characters, they don't have specific art and are just these blue shadows. The backgrounds were really pretty, some of them had very vibrant colors that I love. There were also quite a few different scenes that you could see the characters being in different poses than their standard talking pictures. The game doesn't have any voice acting, which isn't that big of an issue since the script will actually say what you'd mostly need to hear from dialogue. Like here, it's a woman's voice talking, or stuff like that. There are also a lot of sound effects to really make the story more immersive, which is really appreciated. I also like the music in this game. It doesn't drag your attention away from the dialogue and story, but it's really nice to listen to and goes with the tone of the scenes. I thought it was kind of funny when A and Genhai were fighting, they talked to each other in a whole different language, it's just Japanese kanji. Overall, this is a nice, interesting visual novel. I really like the writing, and I liked learning more about the characters and seeing them with one another. I also really liked all their personalities. If you want to go through a wholesome romance story, then Mizuchi is right up your alley. Thanks again to Viridian Software for giving me a code for Mizuchi. And I hope you enjoyed the video, have a good day, and goodbye.